Thank you all for being here to celebrate this day with us. Actually, it's a little bit bigger crowd than I expected, so I'm really psyched. Since its invention more than 200 years ago, bicycles have transformed lives. Having a bicycle provides somebody with independent mobility, allowing them to go where they want, when they want. Cycling promises freedom, adventure, and escape. As a practical and affordable means of transportation, a bike contributes to economic well-being, emotional stability, physical health, and it is a simple, eco-friendly means of transportation. Welcome to the Bicycle Collective's groundbreaking ceremony for our new hub. Our journey to 901 South Gale Street started with a vision supported by the Redevelopment Agency of Salt Lake when they awarded Bicycle Collective, through a competitive process, this piece of land upon which to build this dream. This is the place. Thanks to the generous support of individual donors, large and small, private foundations and grants, and local businesses, we have now come full circle with the RDA. Once again, the RDA stepped in to help us finance the balance of this spot in the form of a construction bridge loan so that we could commence the project among escalating construction costs. We are deeply grateful for the generous and steadfast support of a passionate collective community. I'm going to ask a lot of you to stand if you're not standing already as I call you. Our volunteers and staff across 4 locations, Provo, Ogden, St. George, and Salt Lake, and our volunteers among those 4 locations. Many of them are here today, and these are the people that transform other people's lives with the gift of a bike. Our board of directors, specifically Sean Murphy, one of our board co-chairs, and Todd Reeder, our building board chair, who recognized our work in providing independent transportation and meeting everyday needs as an integral part of the social services and homeless services provider community and as a means to build self-reliance. Our former board members who are here, Cole Reese, Shelley Reynolds, Will Deutschman, Adon Carrillo, and there's a few others of you I think that are here. You have been part of this process since its inception, which was 2017. Our community partners, more than 60 of them, like First Step House and the International Rescue Committee, who help us identify those in need of transportation. Our supporting foundations who value our impact and are helping finance this transformative space. Zeke and Angela Dumke of the Catherine and Ezekiel Dumke Foundation, whose early investment enabled us to make the construction drawings and designs with Atlas Architects, who are all here today, Jason, Jesse, Ashley, and Isabel. The Ray and Ty Norda Foundation, who provided the cornerstone of this campaign. Aaron Blackford, the foundation's portfolio manager, is also here to celebrate with us. The Larry H. and Gail Miller Family Foundation, the Sorensen Legacy Foundation, the George S. and Dolores Stories Eccles Foundation, the Al Sam Foundation, Amanda and Spencer Millerberg, the Willard L. Eccles Foundation, and the Thomas and Candace D. Foundation. There is nothing we do alone. We do it together, and we do it collectively. There are many examples of community bike shops across the country. Some that provide social services, some are just a place to fix a flat. The Bicycle Collective is the only institution like this in the entire state. Our new hub, designed by Atlas, is built for efficiency to better serve our clients, our community partners, and our customers. The building, which will be built by R&O Construction, will have a functional space to build community. We will be able to house all our operations simultaneously. This is a first and a really big deal for the collective. We'll be able to do sales of affordable bikes, provide bikes to those in need free of charge, recycle, volunteer, have a do-it-yourself space, be able to store our own bikes on our property, and have educational programming, all in a sustainably built, energy-efficient space designed to be welcoming and to encourage collaboration. Bicycle Collective will be a catalyst and the driver, or better yet, the rider, of building a community we're proud to be part of that is fostering a love for biking, active transportation, and cultural vibrancy. Thank you for being here to celebrate this with us today. This is a huge milestone. I'm really pleased to introduce Mayor Erin Mendenhall. Previously a highly engaged citizen, a city council member, a member of the RDA, and now the 36th mayor of Salt Lake. Erin Mendenhall's leadership and commitment to clean air, environmental stewardship, and equity ensured this project came to fruition with a powerful and transformative public-private partnership that will continue to build community and be an example in our city. Mayor Mendenhall.
Donna has always been good at a microphone, and the first time I met Donna McAleer, she was running for office, and I thought, damn, I want to be like her. I'm so happy we're finally here. I'm reminded of the time way back in 2013 when we celebrated the opening of the S-Line. It was colder than this, but it was a long lineup and people kept talking and talking. So I'm going to be brief with you today, but you could not have chosen a better spot. This is not only symbolic because you're on the 9 line, and the 9 line is about connecting community. It's about bridging divides, and we are literally on it and building it as you come in here. But your building's designed by the granddaddies of Central 9th at Atlas. They're not old. They're just that historic in nature and influential. And pretty soon you're going to be able to hop on a bike and connect with the Surplus Canal. You're going to be able to get up to Immigration Canyon from here, all on a trail system that we are going to keep building as a city. Because what is a bike? It's a common denominator. It's one of the first things you learn when you're getting into elementary school. If you're really cool, you knew how to pedal a bike before you got to kindergarten. And it's something that you can do the rest of your life. But it's also a symbol. It's a symbol of freedom, a symbol of intention, a symbol of connectedness. I ride my bike to work because I want to see and smell and hear the city in a way that I can't do inside of a car. So those of you who pedaled here, I wish I could have pedaled here with you today, but I'll pedal here again. I feel you out on the streets, and we're building a trail network both in the street setting. Thank you, Brigham Young, for deciding to build 6 ox cart U-turn wide streets so we can do a lot of bike lanes on them. But we're also going to keep connecting to these incredible mountains that brought a lot of us out here to ski for a few months and never left. So the connection from the paved environment up into the mountains is something we want to keep building with you. And we need your passion for bikes and your passion most of all for community and serving each other to help that momentum continue. I admire the Bicycle Collective and the way that you support people from all walks of life in the community, young kids who otherwise would be walking to school or visit their friends, people who may be experiencing homelessness, refugee families coming into the community. My friends at the Other Side Academy who I saw getting their flat fixed a couple weeks ago when I was down by the collective. But everyone in this community has access to be able to pedal themselves into the freedom of connectedness in Salt Lake City. And thank you, Bicycle Collective, for being the heart of all of that. I'm so proud of you. Now I'm excited to dig some shovels, so I'll sit down and hand the time over to Sean, former City Council staff person and co-chair of the Bicycle Collective.
Thank you, Erin. I'm gonna try not to cry. I'm wearing my gloves and my boots as a reminder that there's still a lot of work to do here. And so when we're done, I'll hand out all my thank yous and do all my tears then. But this has been an incredibly long time coming. On my ride over from UTA, where I work, riding through all of the development that we're seeing now take place in the granary, this explosion of activity, getting to link into the 9 line, which is this connection from that's going to help build more equitable mobility options across the city into the neighborhoods that haven't had enough investment and other neighborhoods that have had tremendous investment. And the Bicycle Collective is sitting at the middle of it because we are that connective tissue that really allows people and helps people get on a bike to take advantage of the hard infrastructure that's now being in place. Likewise, the reason that we're here is because all of that development activity in the granary frankly meant that there was no way the Bike Collective was going to be able to buy its own piece of land. And if the RDA hadn't seen the vision that we put together in 2017 and then allowed us the opportunity to frankly rebuild the organization in the span of 5 years in order to be responsible enough to actually kick this project off, there would be no Bicycle Collective at this site. There probably wouldn't be a Bicycle Collective in the vicinity. We'd be talking about, a West Valley City or a Magna Bicycle Collective, which, not to say we shouldn't have one there, but that's a future project. This effort spanned, I think, over 3 different city administrations and probably 24 different council members. So the enormous gratitude to the city and over the course of leadership that has maintained the vision and has seen the opportunity that we're trying to bring forward. I'm so excited. Anyway, thank you all for being here. We still got to pay for this thing a little bit. So Aaron is here representing NORDA. NORDA's been an enormous benefactor. We've had the 5-year effort of cleaning up and growing the organization has really helped us reach out to a huge new bank of donors that see that we are going to be responsible stewards of their money and that we are a reliable institution that will continue to serve the entire state of Utah. But in order to get ahead of construction prices, the constant inflation, the fact that we've already had to value engineer this building 4, 5, 6, 9 times, in order to just get going today, we did need to come back to the RDA and ask for an additional loan package. But we want to repay that as absolutely quickly as possible, which means that the fundraising for this building doesn't stop, it will continue, and we are still looking for benefactors and donors. We got a lot of space on the building, have a sign up, have your name. You can do a name anywhere you want. We got a lot of rooms, we got stands, put a name on it, but that won't stop if you, your friends, your bosses, their bosses want to help. We are ready to sit down and lay out the portfolio and the opportunity to invest in this truly transformative piece of community building that we've got here. So thank you very much. This is so great. So Aaron was on the city council and on the RDA board when the project was selected, and we got the initial go-ahead from Salt Lake City to be a long-term partner. And at the same time, Darren, whose district we're sitting in, who is also RDA board member, city council member of this spot, was a community advisor on the selection committee for our project in 2017. So it's delightful that I get to introduce him now to tell us but what this project means to him and for this district and for the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. I am so excited to be here. I remember one of the first times I spoke at something or attended something as a council member. I think it was the Artesian Well Park opening, and I had just been appointed, and I was up there talking about this thing I really didn't know anything about, which was really actually Councilmember Garrett's idea, I believe, from many years ago, and it's often that we're talking about things or celebrating things that we didn't really have a very long history in as elected officials. But this one's exciting for me because, as Sean said, I've been able to watch this project from the beginning. I was on the selection committee. Before I was on the city council, I was on the planning commission. Before the planning commission, I was on the redevelopment advisory committee. So it's that many generations of my service ago. And on the redevelopment advisory committee, one of my jobs was to be on selection committees for projects. And I remember when we talked about this, it was clear that the Bicycle Collective was the best project out of the mix and the one that we all wanted to support. And for me, the reason was because when the RDA is, in this case, the RDA owned the property and eventually wrote down the land, so it was donated to the Bicycle Collective. When something like that happens, it's public money, it's public investment that is going into a private organization or a nonprofit. And it was important to me that we chose the recipient of the project to be the one that would have the broadest benefit on the community as a whole. And it was very clear that the Bicycle Collective would not just help tenants that were in a building or a private company, but it would help the entire community. So it was a clear choice. I'm very glad that the Bicycle Collective applied for this, and I've been able to see this for years now. I'm excited for that. Also, another kind of, I'll just be selfish and talk about myself, I guess, but another personal reason why I'm really excited about this is I'm an architect, and I've been an architect for over a decade. I've been working in architecture for over a decade, and I don't think I've ever used a golden shovel before. So this will be the first time I actually get to do that. We had one project that was going to do that, and it got rained out, and so we were inside of a pizza joint holding golden shovels. So I didn't actually move any dirt with that. So I'm excited to do that. But I'm mostly excited for what this means for my district. We're kind of right in the corner of 3 different city council districts. This granary area in Central 9th is one of the most rapidly changing. Oops. I'm not using those anyway. One of the most rapidly changing and developing and beautifying parts of our city. And for a partner like the Bicycle Collective to come, put down roots here, right on this beautiful 9-line trail that we've invested so much in, I think is huge for our community, huge for the city as a whole, but for my district and my neighborhood, I live very close to here, and so I'm just very excited to see this finally breaking ground and coming out of the ground in a place that will bring the community together. So I'm not sure who's next. I think Ana Valdemoros was unable to make it. Is it back to Donna?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
We have 2 more people of our collective community that I've asked to speak. The first is Sean McMillan. Sean is the executive director of First Step House. And First Step House is one of our community partners in which helps us find individuals in need of a bicycle as their primary means of transportation. So he's going to share a few remarks, and then Kendra Davis, who is one of our volunteers, longtime volunteers in Salt Lake, is going to talk a little bit about her time that she invests in the Bicycle Collective. So I'm thrilled that they're both here because, again, this is a collective project. So Sean?
Thank you, Donna, and thanks to the members of the board and the group that would invite me to come and speak. So, I got out of my car and I stepped onto the 9-line, and I thought, well, isn't that fortuitous? Or serendipitous, or something, or at least symbolic. It's just so perfect that this building is going to be on the 9-line. So a little bit about First Step House for those of you who don't know. First Step House is a community-based, a Salt Lake County community-based behavioral health services provider. Residential treatment, outpatient treatment, case management, medical, transitional housing, as well as permanent housing. We are proud that Salt Lake City is the base for most of our operations. there's not a better home for us to have, and I'm grateful for that. So something important to know about the people that we serve. 20% of the individuals that we serve at First Step House are chronically homeless. So that means that they've been homeless for a year or more. So a year or more of uninterrupted homelessness, or over a 2-year period, a total of 12 months. Of all of the people that we serve, so it's just north of 1,000 a year, 50% meet criteria for homelessness. So that means that they were homeless before they went to jail, or they were homeless before they came to us, but they were homeless. So 50%, so at least 500 of the people that we serve. Every single one of them knows about the Bicycle Collective. Every single one of them knows about the Bicycle Collective, and every single one of them has deep respect for the Bicycle Collective. And I don't know how many of you are close to the homeless community, but respect is a high value commodity. Both being shown respect and then giving respect. It's tangible. It's a big deal to be respected. So this is just so wonderful. Todd shared with me, and Todd Reeder's a member of the board, as you know, shared with me that we're actually the number 2 beneficiary of services, and I didn't know that, Donna and Sean, and we probably need to give back in some way. So I'll be talking to you. So what I've been asked to do is to come and talk about impact. So when an individual gets to First Step House, they have nothing, and many of them, though, when they were on the street, had a bike, or they had a wheeled piece of equipment, a cart, that contained all of their belongings, and they've lost that somehow. It was stolen, or it was taken, or it got caught up in something, and they've lost that. So they've come to us with nothing. But a bike is a powerful tool for that group, just an incredibly powerful tool. And so when they get to us and we sit down with them and we're doing our case management assessment, or what we call our case management needs assessment, one of the things that we'll mention is, and we partner with the Bicycle Collective, and you'll be able to go down and build a bike if that's something you want to do. And there's an incredible degree of excitement about that, and they immediately want to know, well, when can I go down to the Bike Collective? Well, you just got here, so let's hold on a few days. But that's what they want to know, is when can I get down to the Bicycle Collective? And they know that they're going to have an opportunity to not get a bike, but build a bike. Build a bike, which is about confidence and competence, and then it becomes about independence and getting access to a job, being able to go to a doctor's appointment, being able to go down to the AP&P office and see the probation officer, or go to homeless court. They get to go do those things on their own once they're at that stage of the process for them. So incredibly powerful. But these are the stories that I know about. And when I was talking to more of our client-facing folks, more of our clinicians, and it was the same story. And the story is, the guy gets back to the house, and he'll come and he'll find me, or he'll come and find his counselor, or he'll come and find somebody else in the house that he's close to. Come and see my bike. Come and see my bike. And then you'll get out to the bike and you'll get the whole story about how they cobbled together the components so that they could build the bike. And then they start talking to you about all of the things that they're going to be able to go and do now. Like, I'm going to be able to go and see my sister. I haven't been able to see my sister in 9 months, and my sister's really close to me, and she's been good to me. Or I get to go and see my kids, on Saturday or Sunday or something like that. But it's always the same for every single individual. It's let me show you the bike. Let me show you the bike. But here's what's more, is that those guys go and they'll use the bike to get to public transit. And the public transit will take them to a warehouse job somewhere in the city or in the county. And then the bike will get them the rest of the way, because the bus doesn't always go. You know, the bike will get them the rest of the way. So it's such an important tool so that they can be to work on time, you know. But then what has happened is, because we're very much about self-care and pro-social behavior at First Step House, going for a bike ride, just to go for a bike ride, becomes part of life, becomes about self-care. Some of them, I am told, have become volunteers at the Bicycle Collective, though I don't have independent confirmation of that. But I'm proud to know that that might be the case. So, to wind up, I'm grateful that there is a Bicycle Collective, and I'm grateful that the Bicycle Collective in our community chose to do the kinds of things that it's doing, because it's having impact in the community that's meaningful and that is lasting. So thank you, Bicycle Collective.
As a kid, I enjoyed biking around my neighborhood to visit friends and explore my hometown, which my hometown is St. George, so if I'm up here shaking, it's not actually nerve, it's just my desert blood. In the middle of the Great Recession, I began my university studies and found that biking around to school and to work saved me a great deal of money when gas prices were at record highs. And then that enabled my travels, as well as I served as a missionary in Japan. And upon return from living abroad, I've enjoyed mountain biking every chance I get. I've enjoyed working on bikes for a long time, but have loved the depth and knowledge I've been able to gain volunteering as a mechanic to fix up bikes for those in need of a way to get around. I began volunteering with the Bicycle Collective in January 2018 during WTF, or Women Trans Femme Night. This is an event particularly focused on helping teach and empower those groups that have likely at some point had a wrench taken out of their hand and someone say, "Let me just do that for you." Over the years, I've had the opportunity to teach many individuals how to fix a flat, swap out components, maintain their bike, and feel the joy and power that comes from knowing how to do something and how to do it right. When I initially reached out to the collective about volunteering, I was hesitant to participate in this weekly event because even though I was a woman, I hadn't had much experience with the LGBTQ+ community. This wasn't out of fear or disrespect, but mostly just out of lack of other opportunities in my social interactions. However, through the years, I've been able to meet a variety of clients and fellow volunteers from different backgrounds and perspectives that have enriched my own views and understanding. And I count myself lucky and blessed to have this opportunity in a time when nations and communities are becoming increasingly divided and polarized. At the Bicycle Collective, political, religious, and other views are set aside as we come together to focus on a common goal of sustainable transportation. I find it is a place where I do not need to feel ashamed or hide who I am and what I value, but that is also mostly irrelevant to the mechanics of bicycle maintenance. So I felt safety and security in being able to come together with people different than myself in positive and enlightening ways. I've also been happy to participate in some of our bike giveaways and meet other clients outside of WTF night as well. The joy on a kid's face when we're able to hand them a bike is wonderful. As a mechanical engineer by trade, it is nice to be able to use my specific skills in a way to give back to our community and help others feel joy. Certainly, mechanical and biking passion came together as I looked for an opportunity to give back to the Salt Lake City. But it's the amazing people, both who we serve and with whom I serve, that have kept me coming back. So thank you to everyone who has made this new building possible. It will allow us to continue to do good with greater efficiency and capacity, and more importantly, enable the continued connection of people who bike. Thank you.
Well, I hope that gave you a little bit of an overview of who we are and what we do. So thank you, Mayor Mendenhall, Councilman Mano, Sean, Kendra. Thank you, everybody who's here. Thank you for being part of this journey. Vision and leadership, followed by action and accountability, have dramatically changed this neighborhood. A vision and a belief in the value and transformative power of collaboration, education, active transportation, and clean air continue to strengthen the cultural and social infrastructure of Salt Lake City. Building our new facility here on the 9 Line was both deliberate and serendipitous. We were fortunate that the RDA had this property available, but we also can't think of a better place for this hub. This is really a unique opportunity to join the RDA, the Ballpark and Central 9th Community Councils, the Granary Business District, other service organizations like Spy Hop, our neighbor down the street, and Wasatch Community Gardens, small businesses such as Ruby Snaps and Roots Coffee, who are supporting us today with refreshments. Thank you. To continue to transform and continue the redevelopment of 9th South as a place that serves the community on multiple levels. A hip, fun, and functional place for people to gather and connect, a place for small businesses to flourish, and a place to support those in need with critical and accessible services. We still need your help. Our goal is to raise another $1 million from the community, donations large and small, all of which will be doubled right now due to a generous matching grant provided by the Ray and Ty Norda Foundation. So please help us. Bicycle Collective looks forward to working with our community councils and our neighbors to strengthen the bonds that tie us together and build collective well-being. We are committed to building a biking legacy for future generations and providing transportation equity throughout this community. When you came in, several of you may have grabbed a bike bell. We're going to ask you to ring them as we do our little groundbreaking shoveling ceremony. I'd also like to invite a few other people up here, and I want to acknowledge R&O Construction, who the vast majority of their team is here today. Mike Phillips in the back, Joe Hunt, who's our project manager, Slade, who is running the company, Matt Robertson, who just hooked me up with the shovels and the music that you're going to hear. We're really looking forward to working with you over this project timeline here. So I'd like to invite Todd Reeder, the head of our building committee, to come on up. Chris Field, our project manager, who's on loan to us from Jacobson and is donating his time to help us with this. And I'd like to invite Tracy Tran. Tracy has shepherded this project through the RDA for us since 2017. So please come up and grab a shovel. Kai Cox, who is our Salt Lake City director, please come on up.